Going on, everyone? So, set out to go live at 3 o'clock. I think 3:30 Central Time. I think DJ Lagway should be announcing where he's going to be going. So I don't think I know there's a lot of stuff out there with USC, and I think that's legit. I really do. I really think Lincoln Riley has reached out to Lagway, but if my gut feeling tells me that Lagway's going to sign, I don't. If USC started a little earlier, maybe, but um, I don't see that. I don't see Lagway. So I'm going to start with the stream on a positive note. I think Lagway signs. He's decked out and all this stuff. Today. So unless something unforeseen happens in the next 30 minutes, I don't see it. Now Isaiah Williams did get Cristobal for a flip to Texas A&M, the 4-star wide receiver who is committed to the Florida Gators. So that one, Corey Bender put that one out. So, usually I think that one's more of a done deal, it sounds like. So actually, I don't think he's a 4-star, is he? In the composite? Yeah, composite, he's a 4-star. 327th ranked player in the 2024 class. Now, the Florida Gators did just get a wide receiver from Wisconsin. So I guess one of Graham Mertz's old buddies. DK, I think his last name is. He only had like 300 yards last year. Not really. I mean, I think he averages over 17 yards per catch. He's a wide receiver in the transfer portal, so he'll have 1 year of eligibility. Not like a splash, but it's some depth at the wide receiver position. And I'm guessing since Isaiah Williams is going to be entering the portal, Florida needed something. So as soon as that news dropped, DK committed out of the transfer portal to the Florida Gators. So that's Florida's 4th transfer portal player. So something did happen decent, I guess. Florida's still at number 15 in the recruiting rankings. With Isaiah Williams probably flipping, that's probably going to knock him down, maybe a spot or two, but he's the Caleb Douglas replacement. Or there you go. I mean, he's all right. It ain't like, Evan Stewart. Like, you get Evan Stewart, I'll be impressed then. Evan Stewart, that's the one I was hoping for, but I think that one more seems like Alabama, I'm wanting to say. So Florida Gators need to get rid of their coach. John Ayers. Which one? There's there's some that probably need to be gone, especially on the staff. So let's see. As it stands now, what's up, Zaire? As it stands now, it's safe to say that I don't even see what Billy Napier has done better than Mullen, since recruiting has been literally the exact same from when Mullen was our head coach. Around in the 13, 15 range. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. Hoopsha is back on his BS. Kennedy Raider. Yeah. I don't know what's up with that. that dude, some weirdo stuff going on there, I think. Some weirdo behavior. Let's see. Graham Mertz posting about DK coming over to the swamp. I mean, that's cool. I think it's Chimichez DK, I think his name is. It's not like it's not a splash. It's like a drip, Um, he said John Ayers, Billy Napier. We went from top 10 to number 15. We were actually like number 3, top 5 really. And with Marius Williams, Xavier Filisami a couple days ago, Adarius Hayes, the list goes on and on. It is what it is. Y'all saw me throughout the year just losing my mind on the games and losing my mind on recruiting. I'm like, you know what? Do the Florida Gators need that much energy from me if they're not willing to put that much into it, into recruiting or this football team? So I'm just, you know what? I'm going to take the casual approach. I'm just going to report the news. I'm going to talk about the Florida Gators. I am not going to get upset. You know what? I have made peace at where the Florida Gators are at right now. And I'm just going to talk Florida Gators sports. Hey, if they want to continue down whatever this recruiting that they're doing, and, I mean, that's on them. I'm not going to give them that level of energy. I'm not going to, get my blood pressure up for them. I'm going to be a fan. Um, and that's all I can say because there's nothing I can do physically, I can't make them get players. uh, you know, we can't do that. They get hired for a job that they're doing, and we watch them do that job. We may not agree with it, we may not like it, but you know what? Um, I'll just talk about how the end of signing day, or especially the end of the day, and I'll make a video and express what I believe, and that goes from there. And let's see, Blake, is there a former Gator you could see became a head coach candidate in the future? No, but you know what? You know who I want, Kennedy Raider. Uh, well, probably as OC more than anything, but um, what I wish Florida would have got Joe Brady. Joe Brady especially as an OC, but as a head coach, man, Joe Brady's done well with Buffalo too. Like as soon as they started using him, they got rid of Ken Dorsey. It's been different. Um, Former Gator, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head other than Steve Spurrier. Bring him back, but no, not former Gators. And um, I know I keep hearing about one coach. It's not a Florida Gator, or he's not tied to him. Just Jed Fish. Keep hearing that one. Florida Gator fans keep telling me about him. So yeah, Joe Brady would have been money. Dude, I liked him when he was at LSU. Everyone said it was because of the offense. I was like, dude, like what he did was he had that offense humming though. See, Muddy Waters, Auburn basically outbid us for every one of our D line commits. I bet most of the boosters stop paying and want to see results. And maybe, you know what? And I think a lot of people are blaming the boosters and UAA. First off, I blame Scott Strickland for all this. Okay, first off, Scott Strickland should have been gone a long time ago. I've said that numerous times, but you know, a lot of these guys are like, okay, what are we funneling money into if we're not seeing results? You may be absolutely right, Muddy Waters. They may go, hey, we're not getting an ROI right now. We want we want to see some kind of results because we're not seeing it. We're losing. And so they may like, hey, no, you do your job and then we'll start putting money into it. That might be what's going on. Oh boy, the class has fallen. A dog. Yeah. Give a blank check to Eric Bieniemy if Billy is can. Um, Maybe he'll be better as a college coach. I hear he interviews horribly, but I mean, just imagine what he could do in college. I mean, as an offensive guy, I don't know. He'd be able to put up numbers. I know that. What he did, Sam Howell this year. I know he went out. They brought in Jacoby Brissett, and he was lighting it up this past Sunday. So, but Sam Howell was like leading the league in yards throwing. So let's see, Blake, did you see the alert about Chimere DK transferred to Florida? Yeah, it's okay. He had 300 yards on the season last season. He's all right. I think he's averaging 17 yards per catch. I mean, it's okay. It's somebody that's familiar with Graham Mertz. It's not like a splash like a Evan Stewart. I'll say that again, like somebody like that. No, I mean, he's not close to that, but it's someone familiar with Mertz, and that tells me Mertz is the guy. It almost tells me Mertz is the guy, regardless of how DJ Lagway plays. And I think that's a mistake. I think if Lagway comes in and he's probably going to, what I've seen from Lagway, it's hard for me to compare him to other quarterbacks that I've seen before. He's like a mixture of so many, because he's just got great arm talent. He's got speed. He's got size. He's built. He's a big dude. So it's hard for me to compare him. But man, I'm telling you, I'm not. If Florida's not playing well to start the season, Lagway needs to be inserted pretty quick. Uh, and that's just my opinion. Lagway should be the day one starter. If you see him, I'm telling you, spring game, because he's going to be signing early. He's going to be getting on. I wish there was a bowl game, because then he could come in and really get familiar with it. So that kind of hurts. But joining the spring, he'll be able to come in, fill out the system. We all know he's going to be more talented, athletically gifted as an arm with his arm than Mertz. He just has to put it all together up here, and if he can get the play call down. But really, the offense ain't that bad. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out. It's a lot of it just bubble screen to the right and bubble screen to the left, and then a rollout. A 7 route maybe. You got a post corner. You got the crossing routes. Really, it's not that hard of an offense to figure out. Tim Tebow, head coach? No. I'm sorry. I like Tim Tebow. Nope. Not as a head coach. As if you brought him, if you brought him in as a motivational speaker or something, Lagway is a true difference maker, regardless of Billy being there or not. Lagway is really good, man. Every time I look at him, I'm like, dang, how is Florida getting him? Well, first off, and maybe the reason why Florida can't outbid anybody else is because the only thing I can think of is they paid a bunch of money for Lagway. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, they had to. That's just my opinion. Miami versus Florida is a must-win for both coaches. Yes, it is. Miami's had a great recruiting class. Were they top 5 right now? I know they were 4th the last time I looked. So, they're having a pretty good recruiting day. Of course, every time I look at 247 Sports, I'm like, not trying to harp on Florida, but it has not been a great day for Florida. It's like, no, you think, buddy? No. Tell us something we don't know. Oh. So, and by the way, if anybody wants to chime in, just talk. I do have the link for the live. You can don't even have to show your face, but if you want to talk and discuss some things, discuss your frustrations with today, or maybe some optimism. Maybe you see something in the future. It's pinned in the comments, the live stream or the stream link. So if you just want to call in. So actually, Miami is 7th right now. So Oregon, they have no 5 stars, but they have 24 star players. 5 3-stars. Huh. I know Oregon's got a couple flips today. Auburn at number 8. Florida still at 15. Those 2 5-stars are holding it together. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Muddy Waters. What's up, my man? Are you at work?
No, man, I just got off.
Ah, you work for Coke?
I work for Pepsi.
Yeah. I would too. Actually, I don't mind Coke. So what do you think, dude? What do you think? How you think today's going?
It's 4:30 yet. We got Lagway. I would say this recruiting class so far, it's an F. But as soon as Lagway signs that paper, it's a D.
That bad? I mean, you're honest. Every time. We talked before. You're honest. You're honest with me. So
all I'll say is every coach, including Urban, preached it. In this league, it all starts up front.
Mm-hmm.
In the last month, we've lost Nasir Johnson, a top 10 defensive tackle.
Yep.
You're about to lose LJ McCrae, who basically, when it's been reported he needs a few more days to make that decision.
I don't understand that. Yeah, that's usually a bad thing if he's committed to your team.
That's a very bad thing. So I bet right now Auburn would probably be the favorite because Auburn is giving the bag out to everybody.
Dude, I mean, I swear Auburn's looking down at Florida's list going, which one do we want? Let's take that one right there. Like, I swear that's what's going on.
We lost right after they got spanked to New Mexico State. We lost Javonte Waller, a 5-star outside linebacker / defensive end. Yep. And then you lost Amarius Williams today to Auburn. Another top high riser guy, defensive end. And if you lose McCrae, dude, it's like, who do you have left at the defensive line?
In this class, I mean,
I know right now we're all pumped and we're relying on a grad transfer from Penn, but he's only going to be there for a year. It's like you're talking about the future of your defensive line. It's gone.
I mean, Kelby Collins. I mean, they got him last year. I mean, who knows how long they stay?
We're losing Will Norman, one of the top high prizes of that class. He's leaving.
Chris McClellan. That's another one I hated. I hated losing Chris McClellan. I thought he could have made a jump next year, but somebody just said DJ signed. I haven't seen it, but I figured he would. That one, I was about 90-10. I know USC was making a legit push.
Yeah.
But
and then, man, losing Hayes to Miami, that hurt really bad too.
Yes.
I didn't get that at all.
Someone just said Florida is planning to hire Tulane's Gerald Chapman as its new defensive line coach.
Who's that?
Exactly.
And I told you earlier on the chat, someone broke it the other day. Someone said some of the former Gators have been posting it, and then they accidentally slipped and said Willie Corn will be the next offensive coordinator for Florida.
Yeah. I don't know how much that was true, but I mean, there's actually a coach for the D line though now. That's a plus.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this guy though. I never heard this name.
Google. Was he? I don't remember his name. Is he the guy from Duke? Because I know everyone was hyping him up.
Tulane. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, I know Tulane's sitting so many players in the NFL on that defensive line. So
yeah, this was 18 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was defensive line coach at Tulane, where he helped the Green Wave limit opposing FBS teams to just 3.2 yards per carry, ranked 10th nationally, and record sacks on 6.98% of their total defensive plays, number 49th mark nationally. So,
what conference are you? The American,
like Conference USA or American? Is
American, it? Yeah. I guess he's just as big as hiring Coach O. Because that was the rumor for the longest time.
I didn't really believe that one though. I didn't believe this Willie Corn. I don't really know where that came from. I'm not sure. That one was came out of somewhere.
What's his? I'm mind blanking after work. What was the quarterback's name in the 90s? He's been on all these other Gator channels. He has his own show. Doug. He was the passer. He was the quarterback before Danny Warfield. He broke all those SEC records. I can't remember his name. It's killing me right now. Is it Doug Johnson?
Shane Matthews?
Shane Matthews.
Yeah.
Someone said, I didn't watch it, but they said the other day he accidentally spilled the beans. He reported on a show he will be the next offensive coordinator.
Shane Matthews?
Shane Matthews accidentally said it.
Oh, really?
And they took it down. So I haven't seen it, but that was the rumor. But I get it because he's the co-offensive coordinator of Liberty and Coastal Carolina the last 3 years. They've gone 13-1. Now they're undefeated. He's the guy that developed Grayson McCall. And Billy Napier actually recruited him at Clemson. My only concern, if they do hire him, they said after the bowl game when Liberty plays, they'll hire him. But he's 35 years old. He's never been an offensive coordinator. And he's never been a Power 5 coach.
So, and they're
it's kind of like hiring Armstrong. It's like you're hoping off potential, but this guy doesn't have any experience at all.
That's a dumb move. It's a dumb move. University of Florida should not be settling for giving someone a chance. No, they should be taking very established coaches. Like, I just don't understand that.
Before I grill Billy on it, it ain't confirmed yet, but that's all I've been told. And someone told me that Shane Matthews said it, and that he had to take it down. So we'll see.
You know, I mean, the Ed Orgeron, I never believed that one. I was like, man, that dude loves his life too much, especially the party life. But the Willie Corn. So I have offense coordinator. You bring someone in, are they going to call plays? Like, are they going to have control of the offense? Like, I have questions. It's like, is he just going to have the title?
I think it'll be like similar to what Will Muschamp did. You remember his last year where he hired that new spread offense coordinator?
Yeah.
Like they interviewed the offense coordinator. He basically said every single time I called a play, Will Muschamp was like, I don't want to run that. So basically, he's like, he had full control, even though they hired an OC. But I expect Billy to do the same because he's too prideful about it. Where he'll be like, hey, you're going to be the OC, but double check with me if I like the play or not. So,
yeah. High Top just posted, they said DJ signed. So, and that one's not, to me, like, I was 90-10. I was like, okay, USC maybe making a late push. We'll see. But man, I think Florida, if they had to like up it to another million, because I think if he lost Lagway, Napier was going to be fired at some point this upcoming year. Because it was like, that was too much. If
Lagway 5 or 10 minutes ago was said, I'm going to USC, Strickland would have been on the phone and be like, hey, man, you're out.
You think they would have fired him today?
No, I'm joking. But
I think he would have throughout the year, let it play out because there's just no way they're going to fire a coach right now anyway, or a head coach unless something, happens like bad. But they're not firing one because too late. And you're already signing guys. Pretty much these teams are almost set after the first day of early signing day. Look at Georgia. I think they've already locked up the number one class because they've signed everybody. I don't think anybody can really jump them at this point.
No.
So that's why
I'm shocked they ended number one, especially after losing a quarterback to Nebraska.
You talking about Dylan Raiola?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was a shock to me. But I think was his uncle over there or something like that, or he has some family member.
His dad played in Nebraska.
Yeah, but I thought he had family ties over there.
The weird part was he moved his senior year to Georgia so Kirby could basically be with him and get him ready to be the quarterback for the future. And so I guess.
Well, because Brock Vandagriff, the backup for Georgia, he left to Kentucky, so I figured Dylan Raiola would be right behind Carson Beck.
Well, so what's his name? Matt Rule was the guy who was saying a few weeks ago. He's like, "Oh, these portal QBs cost like $1.5 to $2 million." So I guess he must have gave him the bank. So he might have gave him the key of the city from the mayor.
Well, that's the portal quarterbacks. Though he's coming out of high school, so I wonder is that like a discount?
Hey, if you're the number one QB out of high school, especially in these days, he probably got $2 or $3 million.
Yeah. Somebody said his uncle is the coordinator there, Kennedy Raider. So okay, I thought he had family tie like in the coaching staff somewhere. So I thought I heard an uncle. But Florida Gators will have the same season like this year with the coach we have now. Napier is not Florida football coach.
Hey, I'll say this though: next year we've been talking about all these big games like Miami and stuff. I'm scared to play Kentucky again. You've been seeing what they've been doing in the portal.
What about Ole Miss?
Yeah, I'm talking about the bottom feeders.
Oh, you're talking about those guys? Oh, Miami. Miami's first game. So
we got Texas, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, UCF, Miami, Florida
UCF
State.
ain't gonna be no joke now.
Nope.
UCF. They beat Florida the past how many times? I know they beat them in the bowl game twice, right?
Yeah, I think
last
so.
2 times. I don't know. So well, I'm glad they locked them up and all the
Kentucky they landed Brock Vandagriff, the Georgia transfer.
Too. Yep. Then they got Raymond
Today
Cottrell.
They just landed one of their old 5-star linebackers just went to Kentucky.
Yeah. So Kentucky ain't gonna be no joke. It's it's gonna be interesting next year. So See, I wish they would have fired him today. He is not the Florida Gator football coach. I mean,
hey, there's only one coach out there where if they fired Billy and they hired him, I'd be ecstatic about it. That's Oregon's coach, Dan Lanning.
he
I
ain't
like
leaving
him.
Oregon. He ain't leaving Oregon, right?
I mean, they got him in there now, deep pockets, especially going to the Big Ten. They got that money.
Yeah, like whenever Mark Stoops, it was said that he was going to be leaving Kentucky. I was like, why? As soon as that dropped, I was like, that's dumb. I was like, they don't really expect him to win national championships. I mean, he wins 9, 10 wins. I mean, that's all. That's amazing for them. They love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I think he was thinking about going to Texas A&M, but I think he recanted on that pretty quick.
My dream, like you said earlier, I would love Joe Brady as the OC, but man, I'll tell you, I really like Washington's head coach. He is really him and his offensive coordinator. This you got to remember too. This is his second year at Washington.
You're absolutely right. I said that though, and they said Florida was Billy Napier was in a worse situation than anybody in the country. I was like, 4-8 was pretty bad whenever he took over Washington. That's kind of worse. And I mean, yeah, he's done a great job. I can't argue that.
Well, you know how he did it? Half his players, his star players, portal guys. He knew he's like, all right, you guys fit my system. Like I have Penix, the quarterback, and then their star running back who has like 1,500 yards. He was playing Mississippi State last year.
Lagway's direct quote: "I can't wait to play for Coach Napier." Let's see, Kentucky had a good coach. They would be a dangerous
team. I hope
he
likes playing for whoever the coach is next year. So.
That's what I'm saying. So if he, if Napier gets fired, what happens to? I don't know. I think Napier has promised him something, and they have invested a lot. Oh, 100% had to, and I can't argue with that. Like if they had to do it, they had to do it. That's fine.
All I gotta say is this: thank goodness Texas A&M and USC were just as bad as we were, because if those guys were like in the top 10, finished top 10, top 5, and they made that late push, I think he would have won.
It's possible, because I mean, it's like, well, all three teams are not really winning teams. I mean, they may, USC had a winning record, but it was like 7-5. It's like, and the USC's defense was arguably worse than Florida. So I mean, that's probably like the one team that was probably worse than Florida's defense. But
I know we're about to get we might get our old offensive tackle Michael Tarquin, who transferred to USC. He might be coming back.
Possible, and they Florida did get that Wisconsin Chimmy DK or whatever it is. I mean, he's all right. I mean, it's like, it's no Evan Stewart. Like if you bring Evan Stewart in, you might be talking then. So, but
Evan Stewart gonna get the bag.
Yeah, and I like we were just talking about. I think Florida, all their money probably got tied up into Lagway. Like all their money and all their resources, everything was into him. And to be honest with you, he's a guy. If you want to go all in on somebody that you believe in, what I've seen from Lagway, I see it. Like he's hard to compare for other quarterbacks because he's so unorthodox, but in a good way. He throws off platform. He can make throws with his arm. He can make plays with his legs. And I'm telling you, if Billy Napier does not want to be fired, he better start Lagway sooner rather than later. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'll say this, and you correct me if I'm wrong. When was the last time there was a backup quarterback going into the season where the whole fan base was basically like, if this starting quarterback makes one mistake, the backup needs to come in?
Oh, Felipe Franks when Kyle Trask was behind him.
I was going to say that one with Kyle Trask and then Tebow with Chris Leak.
Yep. Tebow, Chris Leak. And then, there was Will Greer. Will Greer was the other one. Yeah, I mean, they wanted Will Greer. Was it? Who was in? I can't remember who was before Will Greer. But the one I remember is Kyle Trask when Felipe Franks, he was mistake after mistake. It was like, oh my goodness. And if it wasn't for the injury, I don't think Kyle Trask ever would have been in. Remember, he hurt his leg against Kentucky, I think it was.
Oh, and
was it Tennessee?
Yeah, I was at that game when he broke his leg.
Yeah, he broke it, and then freaking Kyle Trask comes in here and over there slinging it.
Oh, Felipe. No, I was saying Jeff Driscoll for a second. My bad. But But yeah, dude, I'll say this to Graham Mertz. You throw one interception, good luck, because I know most of the fan base is going to be chanting for Lagway from the crowd.
I think they're going to be chanting regardless. I just think they're like, all right, let's get the process going now. Let's go ahead, because nobody expects Florida to compete for anything next year. They're hoping they could just make a bowl game at this point. Go ahead and just play them. Like,
dude, that's why I'm like on the fence where I'm like, it would suck right now. I really wish we could get a new head coach, because we're at the point now where we're in Billy's third year and we're just praying for a 7-1 season. I mean, it's so sad, but it's true. It's just like we've really gotten to the point now, 3 straight losing seasons where 7-5, 8-4 doesn't sound too bad to us. Yeah. And this guy was supposed to change the whole program and be the CEO.
Yeah. So I said we all wanted AR over Emory. That's another one. Anthony Richardson. And then everyone, it looks like the whole chat saying they need to start Lagway over Mertz. I mean, and I would, man, I think with Lagway, no offense to Mertz, I know there's people who love Mertz. They love Mertz. I've never been on that. I think you've seen my channel. I just think he's average at best. And that's just how I say. I know a lot of people will disagree. But
in the spring game, when they throw that first Hail Mary pass, if Lagway throws a 70 to 80 yard bomb and Mertz can't even throw it 40 yards down the field.
Dude, I'm telling you, Lagway's arm talent, his legs, because I don't expect Florida to have a great offensive line. Lagway can move. Like, Lagway can get out of it. He's a big guy, too, just like Mertz. Mertz is a bigger guy. He can handle punishment. I think Lagway can, too. And I just think with the arm talent, you can do so much more. Let's find out what Billy Napier's offense is like when you have a quarterback that can push it downfield. Lagway can push it downfield. He's a guy he's got the arm talent to do it. I mean, he makes off-platform throws. He can roll to his right and left. He's not, with Mertz, you kind of have to roll him to his right. With Lagway, he could go either way. He's just that talented. And you sit a guy like that whenever he knows this is what I have in front of me. I'm not going to say you could lose him, but you could dang sure hurt his confidence or something. And I think the whole fan base knows what DJ Lagway is about and what he is. And I think it would be a mistake if they don't start him out. So I said, Lagway is Mahomes. You know, he's hard to compare. Like I was just talking about that before. I don't know who you compare him to. Like, I'm not going to say a Mahomes. Lagway is just different, but it's a good different. You see him
kind of like a Cam Newton a little bit.
Cam Newton mixed with, maybe a guy who can make, what was it, Johnny Manziel, sort of like, you know what I mean? Like whenever he could just make special throws, but DJ Lagway's work ethic would be 1,000% more than Johnny Manziel's.
Yeah. Well, now I'm curious. We got Lagway. We have our quarterback situation. I'm curious about the offensive line, because that's going to be the top priority. Because now you're losing, NTN. You probably have Montrell Johnson going to come back. You got a few good running backs. But it's like, what is the offensive line going to be like? Because if it's like last year, I don't think they win more than 4 games.
You think Florida will win more than 4 games?
I'm saying if the offensive line doesn't improve and it's the same, I don't see them winning like more than 4 games.
I mean, I said earlier Florida had a shot maybe getting Jordan Seaton, but it looks like he's crystal balled to Maryland. That was going to be a tough task anyways. That one, I don't think that one was kind of a thought from him anyways, but I don't know. I mean, Isaiah Williams, the other wide receiver in the class, it seems like he's crystal balled to transfer or to flip to Texas A&M, so that's going to hurt Florida in the recruiting rankings as well. I don't know if you saw that. That came out right before I started this live stream. I saw where Isaiah Williams was Corey Bender. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. He's the one that put that out there. So it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida's still ranked 15th.
You know what would make it even worse is if NTN goes to Georgia.
I keep hearing that, but I don't. I mean, yeah, it could. See, somebody say he's got the Hendon Hooker in him. Yeah, I don't think he's that. Hendon Hooker was kind of quick. Lagway's not quick, but he's fast. He's fat. He's more fast and quick, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a big dude. He's hard to bring down too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I just think if you invest heavily in this guy, and he's the number one player coming out of, or number one quarterback, supposedly, depending on what site you look at. Max Prep's player of the year. And Mertz is in front of you. I just don't see. I don't understand how you don't play him. But
I don't get that. How is that quarterback that's at Nebraska now?
Yep.
How is he the number one quarterback if DJ Lagway won Player of the Year?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, beats me. It's almost like it's a popular. It's almost like a popularity contest with how they do it. So, let's see. Napier will bring Lagway in and try to force him to play his playbook instead of trying to innovate. I hope that's not the case. Man, with Lagway, it's like he's a quarterback eventually down the road where you go, hey, just win me the game. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a quarterback you've looked at Florida that you just go, hey, you look at him and win me the game? Mertz is not the quarterback. You would think Anthony Richardson, he had the talent. I don't know what happened there throughout the season, but I mean, really, Anthony Richardson was it first game against Utah, 2 years ago. I mean, he went out and won that game. With his athletic ability and everything. And I think Lagway is a guy. You look at Anthony Richardson, you're like, man, I wish he had some consistency. Wish he had some accuracy. He's got an arm. Well, Lagway can move. He's not as fast as Richardson, but man, can he sure throw the ball a lot better than Richardson. And really, I can't think of another quarterback with the arm talent that Lagway's coming in with that I can think of. I mean, if you think down the list, I mean, he's probably one of the best arm talent quarterbacks coming in to Florida. I mean, I know there was one like John Brantley who was a 5-star, but nowhere near the arm that Lagway has.
Yeah, I don't know. Will Greer probably. He's like the last one. Trask is great, but he's kind of like in Mertz where he just can't throw the deep bombs.
Correct. I mean, well, the thing about, Trask, he couldn't throw it deep, but they still gave him opportunities to do that with Trayvon Grimes and when they had Kyle Pitts. I mean, they still pushed it downfield. I don't know if the Florida Gator staff doesn't believe in Mertz to throw it downfield consistently, because when we do see him throw it, it doesn't look the greatest.
Well, I know that. I know when you're throwing a deep pass, you gotta have all your weight go into that throw. And so, sometimes you're asking for like 1 to 2 or like, 3 or 4 Mississippi for pass protection. But last year, our offensive line was like, we'll give you half of 1 Mississippi and then you're going to get hit. So
someone said we wasted AR with 17 wide receiver screens a game. Man, Florida's still kind of doing that. Like, it'll just be like some jet sweeps or just a hot route to Eugene Wilson. And man, think about it. A guy like Lagway is great for Eugene Wilson because we know Eugene Wilson is a speedster and is quick. I mean, you get him downfield instead of getting him killed. I mean, he's that slot receiver that just takes all the punishment because he gets these 1 to 2 yard throws. And he's like, I got to make 5 people miss before I'm even in the open field.
Yeah.
But
I'm really hoping Lagway, because the last 2 years we've really struggled with short yardage plays. I want him to be that Wildcat quarterback just to get the spark. Because I already know Napier, he's always conservative. He'll never start freshman right out of the gate. I see him he's going to give Mertz the full reins. And then if Florida loses the first few games, he's probably going to be like, I had nothing to lose. I'll just start Lagway.
I mean, I guess so.
I mean, he's going to be tested because I know, the first 5 weeks, we got Miami, you got Tennessee, Kentucky, UCF.
And then you got, that's the test. And then the full exam is the last 5 weeks of the
Oh my
season.
god. Last 5 weeks, man. Whoever came up with that schedule,
Oh, they hated Florida.
I hated Florida, man.
Let's see. I swear he loved Xavier Henderson's screenplay on 3rd and 10 for Kenny Raider. Oh,
Or man, we could do a shovel pass on 4th and 7 like we did last year.
No, that's true. Oh, someone said Jason Browning. We keep talking about the offense, but what about how bad the defensive coordinator and overall effort was? Man, I'm not sure the whole staff really understands what they're doing. Yeah, I mean the defense was bad, and you look at all the times where Florida had shots and had chances to win. Missouri, 4th and 17, and I never like 4th and 17, and you only rush 3. And you don't get no pressure on the quarterback. He sits back there and he tosses it to his best receiver wide open. Like it's
Well, I mean, I remember I'm trying to be optimistic with the defense. I remember in 2007 when we started like 5 freshmen and like 4 sophomores.
Yeah.
We were the worst defense in the SEC, and then they came back next year with all that experience, and they were one of the best units. I mean, half the games last year, half the time we were starting 4 freshmen at all DB positions.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. I mean, with Miguel Mitchell, even the safety spot already improved a lot. So,
yeah, I wish they would have kept Xavier for the same though, even though he flipped to Texas. But it is what it is. They did just get what Florida got. Gregory Smith, 3-star safety.
Yeah. He's a really great safety. He really just needs to add weight. I know someone said he's 6'4" and he's like 190 pounds.
Yeah, 200 is what I saw, but
or something like that. But yeah, he's got the height. But hopefully, all I care about, I don't care how tall he is. Honestly, I just want to see if he can tackle.
So I said stream joinable. I don't think so. It's on the YouTube Join Me. I think it's just you have to, or one at a time. I believe it is Kennedy. I don't know. I've never had. Heck, I don't even. I rarely have one person never join. Nonetheless, have 2 people.
Well, if he wants, I can let him hop on.
Oh, it's all right, man. I mean, if you want to, and we'll see what he says, and give other people a chance to see what they, different perspective or something. But and maybe they'll just say what we're saying. Go ahead and start Lagway. Go ahead and do it. Get it over. Go through the bumps and bruises. Because Lagway, listen, it's kind of like with Jordan Castell at safety. You're going to have freshman mistakes. Get them out the way, and he gets experience. So that's what I think. That's my.
I'm curious. I know he was celebrated as a senior at senior day. Jalen Kimber. Is he coming back? Because I haven't read into it. Or is he? Because I know he hasn't entered the portal. But I don't know if he's graduated or if he wants to come back.
I think he can come back.
Yeah, I think he can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can. I think he just graduated, but he's still a junior. I think he just graduated early.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sick and tired of this COVID crap where these guys have 20 years of eligibility.
Yeah, and I have no idea, like, who's who anymore. It's like, wait a minute, what year are you in?
Because if he can't come back, I'm shocked him and Jason Marshall haven't entered the portal. Because, I mean, if they were on social media, the fan base was roasting them the whole time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it were up to you, day one, who are you starting at DBs?
Well, Devin Moore.
Yep. If he's healthy.
If he's healthy. If he's healthy. Because, man, whenever Devin Moore was in, he would play great.
Yeah.
Just whenever he's hurt. It's like, but do you start him because you got the questionable of he's injury prone, but you almost have to take that out of it. You're like, well, maybe he won't. Maybe he just had bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, it's almost like you have to start Jason Marshall though, like at the, not covering the best receiver. If I'm covering the best receiver, Devin Moore, because I liked his coverage ability and his speed. With Jason Marshall, I felt like Jason Marshall would actually be better at like the star position because whenever I saw him flying to the ball at the line of scrimmage, I'm like, I'm seeing a different corner. It's almost like seeing a roaming safety. You know, it was like, man, he was batting down balls. He was getting tackles. It was like he was enjoying, like he was having fun with that position whenever he was doing that. So it was like, man, it's maybe he needs to be moved or something. Maybe put him at safety, you know. But you know, Kimber, you can't start Kimber. Kimber just, I don't know what happened. You know, his first year with Florida, it wasn't terrible. You know, he's pretty good. I mean, he made plays. He was making plays with a cast on his hand.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
I want to see how the young guys develop because I remember the last year we recruited like 5 4-star corners. I know Jakeem Jackson, he was like on the verge of becoming a 5-star. He had that really high rise.
Someone said Jaden Hill.
Dijon Johnson.
Dijon Johnson.
I mean, not Castile. Sharif Denson. Aaron Gates.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. And then I know at safety, they started Thornton and Castile most of the year at safety. Yeah. Behind them, I'm not quite sure. I know they also landed that Oregon corner in the transfer portal.
Turquez. Well, I thought he was a safety.
I think he can play both, but I know he mainly played corner. But I know he actually did really well last year. This year, he got a freshman jumped over him and started over him.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess that's why he transferred out.
Yeah. So, but I don't care. I'm happy. It's good depth because something we really didn't have. We were relying on a whole high school team for backups last year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, I like Denson. Aaron Gates, man. You know, coming out, I thought they were going to try to move him to build as a linebacker or make him a linebacker or something. I thought that's what they were going to do with Aaron Gates.
Yeah, I thought they might end up doing it this year. I don't know him or Dijon because I know they have safety experience. They might get switched to safety just for depth.
So I don't know. We'll see.
And then linebackers, I'm pumped for that unit. They got all the experience in the world. I like except Shemar James, Scooby Williams. I didn't expect Scooby to do that well last year.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, my freaking somebody keeps. I'm filming off my phone or live streaming it. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode. Somebody just said big news regarding McCrae.
Is it good news?
Yeah, big news. What is that? Good news or is that? Let's see. Wilt Fong tweet. With Steve Wiltfong, expecting 5-star defense alignment LJ McCrae to put pen to paper for Florida in the very near future. Well,
I mean, is he good friends with him?
That's what. Well, that came from Steve Wiltfong. No, on Twitter.
Point, man, I'll believe it when I see it. But if we get him, I'm a lot more optimistic. That makes up for losing the 3 other high-rated studs at D-line.
Yeah, and that will secure what, a 15th ranked class.
Yeah,
probably more likely.
At this point, man, I mean, I don't even care anymore about the what we finish at. I just want to see us, get coached up well and learn how to do everything right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still shocked we haven't hired a special teams coach yet.
Nah, that's the game changer coordinator, my man.
Yeah, Billy's good at that. I mean, I literally think you could have made a highlight tape of this whole year of what not to do on special teams.
Yeah.
From Billy Napier.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, you can play that circus music while
I mean, just showing all so many things. Like I didn't even know the rules of what you couldn't do in a game last year.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Man, 2 guys wearing the same jerseys numbers. We have a guy jumping over the center and tackling the center, snapping the ball. Like, all these.
Yeah, if you touch the center, like I mean, I don't think they knew that though. I think some of them just didn't know the rules. Or they just kind of put special teams together. It's like, who played in high school? You just go out there. What's up, Shred?
In the Florida State game, the water boy incident, did that happen where we got called? Or
what is it?
I don't know. We had like an assistant coach out there and got called for a flag. Just
Probably
everything that could have happened on special teams last year.
Yeah.
So
let's see. The timing of the D-line coach hire is a bit annoying. Yeah. Let's see. Isaiah Williams officially flipped, so that makes Did he go to Texas A&M, Raider? Yeah. Let's see. Let's go check it out. Per Hayes Fawcett.
I mean, I guess we can go after Evan Stewart now.
I should have went to Evan Stewart regardless. Yep. Isaiah Williams, 4-star wide receiver. The third 4-star player. You know, it's like good news happens and then bad news happens. And someone did say, Kenny Rader said it. Maybe LJ McCrae was waiting for DJ Lagway to sign, make sure he was getting there. He was going to go to Florida. So that would make sense. That makes sense to me. Isaiah Williams, that sucks. He was pledging to Florida for a while. I mean, he was locked in. I mean, everyone's locked in, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I know we flipped him from Florida State.
Yeah, but now he's going to Texas A&M, which is a win for Texas A&M. As much as they've had people lose, so and with Evan Stewart officially entered today, I think the transfer portal. So it is what it is. He was committed to the Florida Gators since May. And he flips on early national signing day. So that's the third one today. Yeah, tough day. It was a tough day.
It might have been because they might have called him up and be like, hey, we gotta use your money to go get LJ McCrae.
Yeah. So. Maybe. It's okay. Florida secured 2. McCrae hasn't signed yet, but it sounds like that one's a done deal. 2 5-star players. But the rest of it, a little bleak, even leading up to signing day, losing X, losing Jamonte Waller, losing Nazir Johnson, but just today alone, losing 3 4-star players. I mean, that sucks. I mean, it does. But I don't know. I don't want to trash it because I'm not trying to give that much energy anymore.
Yeah. See, of all this stuff, I'm actually happy it's been keeping my mind off my Jaguars. So,
oh god, dude, I'm 3-game losing streak. What's going on with that?
I don't know. That injury it just ruined Trevor Lawrence.
It's annoying, but they got an easy schedule ahead, so we'll see.
But I don't know. I guess for right now, I'm more excited about. It's probably the only thing we have to look forward to is the off season. So it's the only time we can't lose, but you get to watch Lagway in the spring game. I'm pretty sure they might sell out the Swamp for that because everyone's going to be wanting to watch to see if he's the real deal.
I thought you were going to say baseball season, golf, something that, tennis. Florida's pretty dominant at tennis.
Yeah, I mean that seems like that's all the president cares about now is our water polo team and everything else because he didn't care about football or basketball anymore.
But they usually have a terrible bass team or a fishing team, which is weird to me.
Yeah.
See, lots of people vouching for the D-line coach hire. Hey, listen, I can't say it's bad. I can't say it's good. It's just too lame. It's like, okay, but I don't know the guy. So,
what's his resume? Can you Google it and because I know you said he had NFL experience. Because when you tell people, hey man, we just stole a coach from Tulane, you're not really raising eyebrows there. So, but if he's got all this NFL history, then I'll be more, accepting of it.
Let's check out his bio.
That's like bragging, saying, "Hey, man, we just stole the strength and conditioning coach from Vanderbilt."
Let's see here. Okay, so it's weird. It shows he was at Colorado last year, but let's see. He's been at Tulane. He's been at Louisiana State. He was at Cincinnati for 2 years, defensive assistant line outside linebackers coach in 19 and 20. In 2018 and 2017, he was at Tennessee State. Before that, he was at Elon. Before that, he was at Texas A&M. He was a grad assistant. So
this is his first time big job. So
correct. Cincinnati.
Billy loves doing that. So don't surprise me. I wonder if this is a guy who Armstrong, who he wanted or he vouched for. I don't know. Because it seems like it was kind of weird where the main reason why we fired Corey Raymond and Coach Chaos was they just weren't buying into Armstrong's system.
Yeah. Kenny Rader said Carlos Dunlap, former edge rusher for the or former D-line for the Gators, said that he was great coach while he was with the Bengals. Carlos Dunlap did play for the Bengals. So, okay.
Yeah, but the Bengals sucked when he was there. So he might be a great guy, but everywhere he's been,
I do keep hearing Billy Napier's a great guy. The great guys start winning at some point. I mean, I'm all right being a great guy. I mean, I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do they come with wins? Let's see. Kenny Rader said you have dropped to 16, which is expected. I figured they'd drop 1 or 2 because of losing Isaiah Williams. So that makes sense.
I can't believe in 3 years, Billy Napier's been the head coach. He hasn't even finished with the top 10 class yet. I know we wrote to Dan Mullen for that, but at least he did it once.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Stock down 247. Stock down Florida. Golly, you can't catch a break.
Mm-mm.
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, Florida had the number 3 ranked class going into today, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4. It probably 4. Okay, top 5, let's say.
Yeah.
And you drop all the way to 16th. 247 is guaranteeing a flip for Seton. Yeah, I think it's Maryland, Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken. No way Maryland has more bags than us. Kennedy, we have came to the conclusion we think Florida put all of their money into Lagway, and we think McCrae. We think all their resources went to them too. And I think 70% or 80% probably went to Lagway.
Dude, honestly, college football should do that. They should put a limit for every single team and be like, all right, you have $5 million each to go after your recruits. And make it fair so that way, for example, Auburn right now, it seems like they're offering $5 million to every single player.
Golly. I mean, have a cap like NFL does. I mean, for baseball, there's no cap. They just pay whatever. It's almost like that. Whoever the richest college is going to get it. But I mean, that's not always worked out. I mean, look at Texas A&M. Texas A&M was paying guys, but as you could tell, it didn't work out for them. But
yeah. Well, I mean, according to Evan Stewart, who he said a few weeks ago, they didn't get paid a dime, which is a bunch of BS.
Yeah, I don't think it was not a dime. They probably didn't get what they were promised.
Yeah, he was something like that. But he said we really didn't get paid much.
But here's my thing is they were wanting wins. So they're paying you to win. And when you're not winning, they're probably not going to pay you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of almost like, hey, if you win each game, you're going to get this much. But if you lose and you lose embarrassing, why should we give you anything? So,
yeah,
they want to see results on the field. But,
I got to go pretty soon, but I'll ask you one question. I know I saw the rumor today Florida State is trying to get out of the ACC right now. Would you rather them be in the SEC or the Big Ten?
I don't know. Bring them in the SEC. Bring them. Bring them on in there. I love it.
My only worry is if they join the SEC is especially because they're in a better stage right now. Their program's just 10 times more advanced than us right now.
Yeah.
They would have because I know the Florida pitch has always been, well, if you go to Florida State, it's not the SEC, but if FSU actually joins the SEC, we actually won't have that anymore.
Yeah.
It'd be well, we're in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see if they can even do it because I remember last year they wanted to do it, but I forgot how much it would cost them for the buyout to get out of it. But
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be millions, but it would make them money wherever they went. They went to either conference, they're going to make more money, so they'll make up for it. Whatever the buyout is, they'll make it up.
Yeah. Well, I
Somebody
know
said the
if
Big
I
Ten.
want to see them leave just for chaos, because I know if they leave, Clemson's going to be right behind them, being like, "Well, we don't want to be here if they're leaving."
Yeah, that's true. So, I just want them to come to SEC because I always heard, oh well, it ain't that hard of a conference. We beat y'all. Yeah, you only play 2 SEC teams a year. I mean, yeah, that's nice. The other 8 cupcakes you get, you don't really have to. You're not really battle tested.
Well, funny part, I watch High Top a lot, and Holly, when he's on there, he's always like, "Man, we got a tough one. We got Wake Forest, we got we got Duke." And I'm like, "Shut up, I don't want to hear it."
Yeah, man, y'all playing basketball? Like, dude, really? Like, I mean, Elko had them playing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Duke was pretty good this year. Yeah, I mean, but they're not gonna be like that next year.
Well, I know who they hired. They got Manny Diaz now as the head coach.
Yeah, the old Miami coach.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good coach. I wanted him as the DC last year.
It wouldn't have been bad. So,
you say what you want about that guy. That guy's one of the best recruiters. He's about to convince that was Malik Murphy from Texas to go to Duke.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I don't know. I hope next year we can convince what's his name Manning to come here. If Lagway, because I'm like this. If we fire Billy Napier next year, I don't see Lagway staying.
Probably not. He'll probably go wherever. And Lagway would be, or Napier would be kind of like a hot coach to get for an offensive coordinator or something, because then
he would go right back to B.A.M. as their wide receiver coach.
Okay, well, he goes as a wide receiver coach. Guess who Alabama would get then? Lagway.
Yeah.
Lagway would go wherever he goes, to at least be at his side. I don't know what he has, what Lagway, what his connection with Napier is, but it must be strong, is all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, I know. Speaking of Bama, man, I wish they still have Charlie Strong as an assistant. He's like one of those what do you call it, analyst.
Yeah.
That was who I wanted as our defensive line coach. I still don't get why teams don't come calling for him for DC jobs.
I don't know. Beats me.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, my man. Hey, no problem. Anytime, buddy.
Don't worry. This day is almost over.
There you go. All right, buddy.
All right. See you.
All right, we'll see you. Oh. Kennedy. Let me see if I added you in here. Sorry, I did. There it is. Maybe. What's up? Hey! What's up, buddy? There it is. Maybe. Man, you have been going through. Man, you've been going through there. I've been reading everything. I'm like, okay, let me catch up. Oh, yes, I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that.
Living in Kansas, man, there's not too many Gator fans out here.
Yeah. Oh, man. So you can literally say whenever you leave Kansas, this ain't Kansas no more.
Yeah, this ain't Kansas.
Man, oh my gosh. Yeah. And your boss is a Georgia fan, right? Or Georgia alum.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
It's pretty brutal, dude. Pretty brutal.
Yeah. So what's your overall mood? What's your mood right now?
My mood right now?
Yeah.
I'm very underwhelmed. A bit disappointed,
Understandably so, man.
We have a season like we did this past year where there wasn't high expectations, but there were expectations to be better than what we were. Things don't go the way we want it to go, and we kind of fall back as a fan on that recruiting. Hey, we're top 5 recruiting class, and then it just implodes like last second. And now it's just, it's hard to swallow, man.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem real.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think Florida would, I thought maybe 13th, 15th range with all the guys leaving, but with all the guys they lost today, but I was hoping they would stick to a top 10 class. And I think Florida needs to really go in the transfer portal after, and they're going to have to get some guys to really be competitive next year or this upcoming season. So transfer portal is just as important as recruiting now.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, and if they go out and get a guy like you said, Evan Stewart, then none of this really means anything to me.
Oh man, I really like Evan Stewart. Yeah. I mean, losing Isaiah Williams or not getting Jeremiah Smith, or was Jeremiah Smith really a get?
That was hoop shiz. That was hoop shiz.
Yeah, it was. Where did he come from?
Dude, I have no idea. He came out of nowhere.
But for like a week though, he was good. He was getting it though. Like I was like, all right. I was like, what does this guy know? Like I thought it was a burner account for like a
Katie Turner burner.
I thought it was like something. It makes sense. I was like, all right, this guy knows something. I just think he got lucky on a lot of stuff, or I don't know. I don't know. It worked to his favor because he got a lot of publicity. That's all I got to say. But then it went the quicker he went up, the quicker it's going down now.
Yeah, so, for sure.
But
what about you though? If you had a bright spot today that maybe people aren't talking about, what's your favorite thing we did today that maybe it's under the radar?
Favorite thing we did today?
Besides Lagway, of course.
Oh yeah, Lagway and McCrae, or possibly McCrae. I mean, I like the running back.
Jaden Ball.
I like him, but it's not a necessity. Like Florida's deep at running back. You know what I mean? It's like
they're so deep
with Kanan Daniels, Montrell Johnson, Trayon Webb, and then Cam Carroll. Everybody forgets Cam Carroll got injured last year, so
and he's gonna be a beast.
So it's like I like it, but it's like it's not a position of need,
right? And we got really, Trayon Webb still.
Yeah. I mean, I like Trayon Webb. So it's like the receiver that out of Wisconsin who's friends with Mertz, but Gregory Smith, I think a lot of people will be happy about. That's the one, really I think everybody was hoping for. But if I had to say, I mean, the running back, I like the running back.
I like both of them, Kanan Daniels and Ball.
Well, the one they got today was a surprise. Well, not a surprise. We kind of heard that he was going, but
right.
I like that one. It's just, will he be able to play? Just, I don't know where the snaps are going to come in. Now, I mean, if somebody gets hurt, it's a running back position. So, I mean, oftentimes they get hurt. So, I mean, he may be able to, switch out, but it seems like Florida's going to go with an RBC, running back by committee. And it's going to go, I think they're going to go 3 deep with running backs.
And, I mean, losing ETN, I mean, that's brutal, but
yes,
out of all the positions, that is probably the most affordable position to lose.
Yes, understandable.
And, gaining guys like Jaden Ball, Kanan Daniels, you got Cam Carroll coming back, Trayon Webb with a year under his belt. And, I mean, some could say you could make a case for Montrell Johnson had a better year statistically, just because he had more volume than ETN. But I mean, that is a stacked room.
Yeah,
you are correct.
So I mean, I like they beefed up the running back position. Now, would I like the O-line have some help? To help those running backs? Yes. To help the quarterbacks? Yes. But of course, outside of them locking up Lagway for sure, I would say the running back. But I mean, Gregory Smith, I heard he's an underrated safety, 3-star guy. 6'4", he's tall.
Yeah, he is.
A little undersized, I think. But I mean, maybe he's a guy they could develop. So,
my favorite signing of the day was Jure Hawkins. I love that kid. The tape I've seen out of him.
Yeah. He's 5'9", but is he like a Eugene Wilson kind of type?
Yeah.
Like, was he 5'9", 165? But yeah. And maybe Eugene Wilson doesn't have to take all the punishment for taking those short routes and getting clobbered or something. But
you still got Andy Jean, another speedster there.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw tape of him working out. He looks fast. Looks good. Footwork looks great. It reminds you of like Amari Cooper, the way he runs.
I give you that.
But I like that one. Or if the ones that if you look down the list of the ones that I like, other than Lagway, Miles Graham. I know we were talking about
Love
that.
it.
Miles Graham's a legacy guy, but he's good. He's a good linebacker.
And he's a guy that committed to the logo and not the money.
Now, a lot of the one that doesn't get talked about is Amir Jackson, big tight end. I love tight ends. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase it. I love the position tight end. That sounded kind of weird whenever I said it, but no. I like him, like what he brings and what kind of level. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's like Kyle Pitts, but I think he can bring another element than different than Hayden Hansen and Arliss Bourne.
Right.
Man, he could go right in there, run, 3 tight ends, so and kind of rotate them out. But I think he has a chance to play. I mean, he's was he a 4-star? What was he? A top 150 player? I mean, as a tight end.
92 rating. He's 139th nationally.
Yeah, but if you watch him, dude, he's good. He's very good.
6'4", 225 as a true freshman.
Got the size. Yeah, I mean, he's got what you want, and I'm telling you, that's a guy that I'm probably excited about. Just as much. I mean, I like some of the guys. If you look down the list of probably your 3-star players that could be something, Teddy Foster, corner, 3-star, but maybe a little underrated. So,
Josiah Davis,
safety. Will he be able to play much? I mean, possibly. I mean, it depends on what happens in the secondary this upcoming year. But I know a lot of people are excited about Tawaski Abrams, though.
Oh yeah,
Tawaski Abrams is
Florida State flip, right?
Yeah. So he's a guy people are really, really happy about. So, I mean, when you get Dre Hawkins, of course, IMG Academy. I mean, everybody loves that. So, but I mean, what would you rate the class, though? Okay, you rate the class. I mean, mostly everybody has signed, other than McCrae. I think McCrae's the only one that hasn't signed. But we assume that let's assume the reports are right.
Yeah, I guess I know it's crazy, but there's just a little part of me. It's just that Gator in me, I guess, that has hope for Seton. Just a little bit.
Really? Oh, that would be awesome.
I guess that's just false hope, or I just want that to happen so bad. But I guess LJ would probably be the last one.
I mean, now, of course, there's other. I mean, how many? Well, there's only 18 or 19. I mean, I imagine they could add some more. I imagine Florida. I mean, the whole class,
especially.
Well, the portal, and then there's some uncommitted guys who's still looking around. So, and I mean, a lot of your high-profile players are going to be swooped up right now. But I mean,
after those bowl games too, there's some names that hit the portal that you're like, whoa. So, I mean, he can still make some noise there.
Yeah, I mean, look, what game was I watching? Some guy just came in through like 5 touchdowns in a bowl game. Like it was the guy just made a name for himself. He's like, this guy could go in the transfer portal. You never knew about him. He was a backup quarterback. So it's like some guy could come out there and make a statement, and you go, whoa, hold on now. So, and there very well could be a lot of these bowl games. See, I know a lot of people hate seeing like guys like Jared Verse or, they opt out of the bowl game. Yes, it sucks because the competition, you never know what team would have won, but I like it because you get to see what that guy behind him looks like. So it's kind of like as an evaluator. So like if you're the coach of that team, you're like, hey, let's see what we got in this guy. But also it's great for that player because that player could ball out in that bowl game and then hit the transfer portal and then see what kind of looks he can get. A lot of people didn't know who he was, so sometimes even though the guys leave and opt out of the bowl games, sometimes it's a positive for, other teams or your team. So
I agree.
Like we saw last year when Florida played Jack Miller, we saw No. We were like, okay, yep, no. That's a no-go there.
Definitely not Miller time.
No, it was the Miller Lite time.
Yeah. Time for about 30 Miller Lights watching that game.
Yeah. It was
that
was a brutal watch.
That was one of the worst games I've ever had to like sit down and watch. Just like, why am I watching this? This is awful.
Hey, kept the scoring streak alive though.
Yeah, we did. 30-3. Good for Billy.
Oh my God.
So
do you think Lagway should start right away? Hold on. If he comes in the spring game and he wows if he plays well, do you think he should start right away?
I think that would get Billy some fans back on his side for sure. A move like that, I mean, that's a big move, especially you get Mertz coming back in his 6th year. And I'm a Mertz guy. I mean, I said earlier, he's from my hometown. He tore us up in the playoffs and state, but you know what you're getting with Mertz. You don't know what you're getting with Lagway, and I think that's what we need right now. We literally just need that hope. Like there's and it's not in Mertz, and he's not going to go out there and win you an SEC title, or I mean, he'd be lucky to. He could have got 8 wins this year. He should have got 8 wins this year. So I'm a guy where you go out and you pretty much, if you're Billy, you say, hey, it's a competition from day one, and you guys have them go at it like this, and it's going to make Lagway better. It's going to make Mertz better.
Yeah.
I say Lagway.
I think a lot of fan base. I think the only person that won't is probably Billy Napier. I think the only one. I think if even if it's close or Mertz just edges them out or whatever, however the spring game goes, I think it's going to be Mertz's time. But like I think Muddy Waters was saying, as soon as he throws an interception, though, Mertz throws an interception. Oh, you're going to be. It's like, remember Tebow with Denver Broncos. As soon as that, they wanted Tebow in, so it was Tebow. So
Kyle Orton and Tim Tebow.
Oh yeah. So now it's going to be Lagway. I mean,
I can already hear it.
It's going to be. So, and just because Florida 3 losing seasons does that to your man. I think players, because it'll start to sink in with the players. Like, all right, let's see what this kid's got. This guy's a 5-star. Let's see what we got in him. And I just think. Florida's not really competing for much this year. Like nobody's looking at SEC championship or nothing.
In that schedule.
No, God, no. The schedule. You got Texas now entering, and you got Texas on your schedule. Quinn Ewers is coming back. I mean, Texas is going to be strong. So, in Miami, the first game, that's going to be tough.
That's a big win.
Yeah. If Florida could win that one, that would be huge.
That is big.
So, and UCF on the schedule. Look at Miami, UCF, Florida State. I mean,
Georgia.
Oh God.
Listen, out of those 4 games, because you probably say those are 4 biggest rivals. You could throw Tennessee in there instead of UCF.
Yeah.
What are the wins that you need as a fan this year? Like, because you could arguably say Billy's had 1, maybe 2, if you count the Utah win, his first game. Like big wins. We had Tennessee this year at home in Utah.
Yeah.
Those are the only big wins he's ever had. Like, and that's just.
Yeah. I mean, the Tennessee, I mean, the South Carolina, but really you were supposed to probably win that game and you had to come back 4th down and 10s and come back and. I mean, it's a miracle Florida finished 5-7, to be honest.
It is.
I mean, everyone always talks about like, oh man, this kick went in, it could have been 7-5 or whatever it is. I'm like, man, y'all forget about the South Carolina game. Lucky won that game. I was like, how many 4th and 10s did they have to convert? Like, it was crazy. So, I don't know. I'm not expecting a whole lot this year, but I would like to see some kind of progression. And the thing is, if Billy Napier makes a bowl game, I think, and that's bad. That's the Florida mentality, the fans' mentality. It's like, just make a bowl game this year. And if Lagway can, he's going to have mistakes if you play him.
Yeah.
He's going to have mistakes. because he's going to be a true freshman. But man, if you see where boom, he starts to go up, he starts to get more confidence and just playing better, especially with that rough schedule. Man, I mean that could do a lot for a fan base to go, hey, okay, we went 6-6 or whatever it is. But man, Lagway looks like the future. So okay, we got to keep Napier. So I think for Napier's sake, he may have to do that so he can keep the fans on his side
and secure his job.
Yeah, I just think so. Muddy Waters said Xavier Mincy won't be committing until Under Armour games, so he will have time to. So we will still have time to get him.
Like January 3rd or January 4th.
Okay, and then we're still battling Bama for offense tackle favor Edwin. I thought that.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. So still on the radar of him. So
Zay Mincy would be big, especially after losing X.
Yeah. So Napier has lost 11 out of the last 16 games. God, why you got to remind us, man? God. I mean, it sucks. It stings, because I'm sitting here live streaming. Dude, I live streamed the entire season or just about every game, I think it was. And man, I'm just like losing my mind on a lot of these games because I'm calling the games, I'm announcing, I'm doing my announcing stuff. And it's just like, if my hair wasn't so short, I'd pull out my hair, But what's annoying me though, it's almost like I've mushed the Florida Gators almost. Like I felt like because I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, and for 3 freaking years, the Florida Gators have not had a winning record. I'm like, all right, is it me? So it's I'm just like, okay, come on, like, give me something so I can hey, there's a winning season for once. Give me something to look forward to. But I hate to say, I don't know. The only thing I'm looking forward to is the quarterback competition, seeing how the defense looks after last year. Maybe a lot of the freshmen and a lot of the young guys got better. Shamar James will be back, so second year with Austin Armstrong, maybe he can surprise me a little bit more.
I do have some hope with him. I'm going to give him some leeway on his first year. I mean, being the youngest or second youngest coordinator in the country.
Yeah.
There is some hope there. I do see what Billy sees. Like he's a energetic firecracker. So he can bring some different coverages. He's a little too aggressive, but he was also very young.
Yeah.
Young personnel.
Yeah. And I hopefully the thing about it is it's almost like when you talk about the young players, he's a young coach, so you're going to have to go with the bumps and bruises down the road. I wasn't happy with some of his performances as well. So, but I'm willing to go ahead and wipe the slate clean. I'm like, all right, I'll give him another year. But, I mean, he's going to have to show something where that defense improves. You add Will Harris. Now you add the Tulane coach. Yeah. I'm going to have to do research on him. I don't know much about it. I didn't even know he was on the radar.
Neither did I.
Okay,
that came out of nowhere.
So, that's a name I never heard. I heard Will Harris for like a week before Florida officially did it. So
Gerald Chapman. Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have like the most stellar resume. Let's see. Go Gators men's basketball. Yeah, big win last night against Michigan.
That was a big
overtime.
Win.
That was huge.
A big win. Hey, what do you think about Kugel? What was up with Kugel last night?
I don't know. He had a horrible night. I mean, he came in. He played well at the end, but yeah. I don't know. How many points did he have? Like 5?
I think he ended with like 4.
4. It was bad. But think about that. Your best player, I mean, had what 4 points? Had one of his worst nights. You still won.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that,
encouraging. I like our basketball team this year.
I like just how they play. I like how they play. Could they sneak into the tournament, beat one of the 68, and maybe get an upset or get a victory and make it to the round of 32? Maybe. I just like the way they play defense. Well, for the most part. I just hope at the end of games, really Florida got lucky. They to tie it up in over. It was the first overtime. They missed a 3. It was just
got that rebound and
tossed it right back out wide open. Made a shot. So it was definitely aggravating because I'm like, all right, come on, just win the game. It's like stop. But they took care of business in the second half. So
they did.
I thought,
and I like Golden.
Yeah. I didn't know at first because I when they hired him, I was like, who? I was like,
Him
who
and Billy
the
back to back were like,
oh, I was like, I don't know about this, But the thing about with Todd Golden, I was like, all right, he can't be no worse than Mike White. Mike White was here 8 years and there was nothing there. Like it was just bad. So I was like, okay, he got to give him something. And Bruce Pearl spoke highly of him. There was a bunch of big name coaches that spoke highly of him. So I was like, all right, I'll give him a chance. So
yeah, I lost hope with Mike White after was it the Final Four game against South Carolina? We're playing 8 seed, 9 seed South Carolina. We lose. Sindarius Thornwell. Lost hope.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
But
yeah, our run defense was horrible this year. Going back to football.
And with adding Cam Jackson, getting Caleb Banks, and getting these big BB guys, you were like, all right, the run game's got to be better. The run defense. And man, I mean, look at Kentucky. I mean, Ray Davis, sweet baby Ray. I had to hear that.
Cody Schrader for NU.
Oh, Cody the Schrader is what I call him, shredding the defense. I mean, it was just like, golly, dude.
Yeah, it was bad.
Need McCrae to go ahead and sign and just get it over with. What are you waiting on?
Yeah. Honestly, that will make my day so much better. Just knowing that security with him. Because Auburn, Hugh Freeze, man, he's scary.
I mean,
he's swiping all of our players.
I swear he's going down the list and going, what recruit can I take from Florida? So it's annoying. It's very annoying. I did have to hear it from Auburn fans.
Yeah. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is still running.
that's messed up. Oh, that's messed up, dude. Yeah. I mean, he set a record, right? Of total yards, but golly.
All-purpose yards. That was the most all-purpose yards we gave up since like 1970 something.
Yeah, it was something dumb. It was like, are we serious right now? Like it was pretty pathetic. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I knew LSU was gonna have success. I didn't think they were gonna have like historic success. But Jesus, but and if the defense isn't, if the defense looks just as bad or there's not much progression there, I think you're gonna have to move on from someone. I mean, you're adding pieces, new pieces, and if it's still not fixed, you're gonna have to make a change. So,
without a doubt,
with Jordan Costello and Bryce Thornton, I think they should. With Triquez coming in, he can add some, veteran experience and maybe help them out. But I don't know. It was a rough year, especially defensively. But
Costello was probably the brightest spot on our defense.
Yeah, I mean, now he needs to bulk up in the offseason. Needs to bulk up because he was the one that now KJ Jefferson's a big dude. But when KJ Jefferson
yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
KJ Jefferson. Listen, I was like, all right, now we see why you're a freshman or freshman. KJ Jefferson's a big dude. I was like, oh. But
that was probably the worst loss of the year.
I think it was the most heartbreaking loss.
It was the one where we were like, all right, this is the easiest win we have of the year. Like, we can all go in and take Florida Gators money line and not look at the TV. And it's, what was it? It was like 34, whatever, and special teams, subs. Oh, man, that was.
Muddy Waters said LJ McCrae will make his official decision at 5:45. I thought he already made his official decision.
Well, what's crazy to me is, what was the point of him saying he was going to delay it a few days when he just was really delaying it a few hours?
Got to be money, right?
Yeah, he was probably trying to see how much he could get.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yep, yeah. He just posted 15 minutes ago, 5:45 IG Live. Where is home? So, okay.
LJ McCrae just tweeted it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
If Auburn, I swear, if Auburn gets him, it's that would right like some.
We're gonna have Florida Gators Twitter saying that we should have hired Hugh Freeze, not Billy Napier, for the next month.
Yeah,
like.
But Steve Wiltfong, he's usually pretty on top of it though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why I'm just thinking if that McCrae news just came out and Wiltfong tweeted that kind of near the same time, that's got to be accurate.
Yeah. Hey, here's something. 26 minutes ago, 247 Sports put this out. Jeremiah Smith's letter of intent has not been submitted to Ohio State yet. Interesting.
Well, I also saw some unconfirmed on Twitter that he had 2 hats in his bag, and one of them was Ohio State and one of them was Miami.
Yeah.
But that was unconfirmed.
Yeah, I heard the same. But see, LJ probably encouraged by the hiring of the D-line coach and Lagway signing. Yeah. So let's see. I mean, maybe LJ.
I mean, that probably helped.
Yeah.
I don't understand that timing is so weird, because I feel like if you would have just made that signing a few days ago, we keep a couple of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we're losing. I mean, Waller left a couple of weeks ago. He was probably impossible to retain. But you got Amaris Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he seemed like a lock. I mean, I know he was tweeting War Eagle all week, but he had his commitment for a month or so. And then you had Kendall Jackson, who still probably can't make his mind up. He transferred, flipped 3 different times in an hour.
You ain't lying. It's at that point when somebody does that, you're like, all right, just don't even offer them. Just don't.
Yeah, for real. You can't even take guys like that serious.
Well, I mean, it's just like when you even get on campus, wherever you decide to go, are you just going to go ahead and leave as soon as you get here when the first thing goes wrong? Like, I don't know. Say Napier announced the D-line coach because he's losing a lot of recruits. I mean, I think he had to. He had to do something.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if he would have just announced it a couple days ago, we wouldn't even have to be talking about any of this.
Good possibility. I'm gonna have to really do some research on this guy. But I mean, it sounds like people are vouching for him, but doesn't have like
vouch for Billy.
Yeah, people vouch for probably Todd Grantham too. So
that's a bright spot. We don't have to see him.
But yeah, I mean, when somebody has a personal relationship to someone, it's like, can you take your personal feelings away if you hate him or if you love him? How is he as a coach? I mean, everybody says he's a great man, like Billy Napier. Everybody says he's a great man, he's a great dude, and he might be like Billy Napier might be one of the greatest dudes ever. Right. But does it translate to wins? That's what
that's what we care about.
Yeah, it's like, dude, this is a sport. This is a team. Like, you got to. It's the fan base. A lot of people put time, effort, money buying your merchandise. They want to see wins. They don't want to hear that you're just a good dude. Oh wow, that's awesome. You're a good dude. Pat on the back. I mean, cool. I mean, but I mean, it's almost like, well, do we want an a-hole as a coach? I mean, let's get that one. I mean, Kirby Smart seems like an a-hole. He wins. Nick Saban, he looks like an a-hole. He wins. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and get a coach that just mean to everyone then. So
absolutely.
But
Florida has delayed Billy Napier's press conference. It was scheduled at 4:35 today, and it has been delayed for undisclosed reasons per Zach Goodell. That's got to be LJ McCrae news.
Got to be, right? Waiting because he knows it was not the greatest day.
He needs that one.
He needs the McCrae
press conference.
He needs the McCrae. McCrae signs, and then he goes, "Hey, look, I just signed up 2 5-star players. Well, you were supposed to. They were already with you."
Yeah, we had 3, Billy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like 3 other 4-star players. So you lost them too. Yeah, it has to be. And I'm wondering if he's got to know. Whoever gets LJ McCrae's got to know by now, right?
Yeah, that LOI has got to be turned in by now.
But it's weird Jeremiah Smith saying that. That's odd.
That is weird.
I wonder where you could see it. Where is he doing it at? Do you know what he's doing it on? LJ McCrae?
LJ McCrae will be on IG Live, Instagram Live.
Let's see.
And his location is Daytona Beach, so I'm going to guess he's at home.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I've seen some buzz around your Jeremiah Smith news on these Florida accounts.
Yeah,
wouldn't that be? I don't.
Oh,
even
that would be.
I'm not even getting my hopes up.
I mean, if it was a Florida team, it'd probably be Miami, but I don't know. I don't want to do that either because man, he comes in, he's taking someone's spot. He's taking someone's spot.
What's interesting is you got McCrae with this decision at Kier in about 10 minutes. You got we're still waiting on Seton and we're still waiting on Mincy, and Jeremiah Smith hasn't turned in his LOI. Get a royal flush right there.
Oh, now you really wishful thinking. Like, golly. That would be amazing, but yeah, I don't know how much
it's unrealistic, but I can hope.
Or I don't get on Instagram a whole lot, so I had to type him in. So I'll be waiting on whenever he goes.
Oh yeah. Who should we go in after the portal this week?
What's the biggest names? Oh, see, someone said, "Don't get my hopes up."
My bad.
Who should we go after in the portal? Oh yeah, I don't even know what's available, or people have been going out all day now. So
yeah, I'm gonna see on 24/7. They have a live feed of these guys. I mean, Smoke Buoy is still available. Is it? Wait, what is this? No, this can't be right. This is the wrong year.
Hey, Walter Nolan would. That's wishful thinking, but Walter Nolan would have been awesome.
That would have been nice.
I mean, really, me? You already know what mine is. Evan Stewart.
Evan Stewart's the guy.
That's mine. That's mine, without a doubt. Without a doubt, that would be mine. Evan Stewart. You bring him. Wishful thinking, of course. Jeremiah Smith. Think about that. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then,
see, I'm not big on ETN coming back. Muddy Water says ETN. I don't see that happening with Baugh and Canada Daniel. I think that is out the door.
You think now they signed? I mean, now they're 5 deep at running back. So
yeah. And ETN, all he wants is 30 carries a game, and that's apparent, and that's fair. I mean, he's probably the most explosive running back in the country. He can ask for that.
Man, if he wants 30, he's gonna kill himself. 25 touches. I would say, 20 carries, 5
touches.
20 carries, 5. I mean, 30 is still, I don't know. I mean, because one, he ain't the greatest pass blocker. We know that. Yeah. We know he is not the greatest pass blocker, but that's not what his game is. And listen, when it's you could put him out in the slot. I don't care. Use him in like a McCaffrey kind of type, because you could use him in the passing game. I mean, he's shown that. I mean, he was just as dangerous in the passing game. Hands. Absolutely. So, and that's what he was frustrated with. It was because they ran a 2-back system, and Montrell Johnson got. Did Trevor Etienne really get a start, or was it always Montrell Johnson?
Yeah, I think he may have got a couple first drives, but I mean, we all knew Billy and Montrell got this best friend relationship
all the way back to Louisiana days.
Yeah.
Let's see, LSU former 5-star has entered the portal too. Well, I wonder what that is.
Oh. I also see a D lineman from Wisconsin, Darian Varner, entered the portal today. That's another Wisconsin guy that played with Mertz.
Now, I know a name that I heard last night but he committed to Kentucky, was Jamin Dumas Johnson.
Oh, yeah. That would have been – I mean, our linebacker's pretty set, but that would have been nice.
Yeah, that would be experience, though, and I mean, It would have been nice. Like, yeah. And then coming from Georgia too, if he came from there, he's going to be good. So
yeah, I'll take anyone from Georgia.
Really need to look at O-line, and if they can get Tarquin, I know a lot of people are not like. He might not be the greatest, okay, but it adds some experience,
right?
And I think he would be more efficient than the ones we've had. So
yeah,
I think he'd be all right. Actually, the one that I saw entered, I don't think a lot of people are talking about, is Damani Jackson from USC. Former 5-star corner. I like him. I just think USC was just their defense was crappy. I don't understand why he didn't play a whole lot, but I like Damani Jackson. Of course, we're spitting off names. How many of these are a possibility? It's up to Napier and his staff to really go after them if they're a fit. But let me tell you something. When a guy is just super talented, he fits any system. And
yep.
I hate when coaches go, he doesn't fit our system. Let me tell you something. Like Ahmad Sauce Gardner, you look at the NFL guys, I don't care what kind of system they are. If they're just freakishly athletic and really good, they can fit any system.
Yeah.
I hate that system crap where it's like, listen, when a player is just great, it doesn't matter the system. He's gonna be great regardless.
Like a Lagway. Like he's a
Lagway, yes.
He's system proof. Like you put him anywhere, he's fine.
Yeah. It's some quarterbacks are system court like Stetson Bennett for Georgia. He got a great system. I mean, he was a system quarterback. He got it done. Stuff. And it's no knock on him. It's not trying to be disrespectful to him. That's just their talent. Lagway, dude, you can put him in any system. Where he's going to succeed at the most, you spread options, spread it out, and let him work. So. He could fit under center, or he could do that. He could go in I formation, whatever system you wanted to put him in. But where he's going to succeed the most is probably the Florida Gator offense that they run, and maybe some downfield shots that we're not used to seeing over the.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Some plays downfield. Instagram just popped up. Was it him? Something popped up. I don't know where it went.
Crystal Ball just came in for UF to land Edwin.
Nice.
That was 19 minutes ago.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one too, that maybe people would overlook. That would be a nice addition.
Now things are like coming in quick now. Like now things
live.
Is he?
Person Z.
I don't see. Let's see. Let me refresh it. Oh, yep, he is. Let's check it out.
That's sweet.
I don't know what is going on with this live though. I'm seeing a chandelier swinging.
Oh man.
Let's see.
We're gonna try to pull this thing up.
Can you see it? Or
I'm gonna try to pull it up on my laptop here.
Okay, I got it. Let's see. I could turn my camera maybe to it, but it's literally nothing going on right now. It's a chandelier swinging. I don't know what that means. Is that supposed to mean something? I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, I should be able to pull this thing up now.
Because if Florida can get McCrae, it would be okay, Auburn, you got some really good players from Florida, but we kept the best. You know what I mean?
Got our guy.
Yeah, we kept the best. LJ is live. Yeah. Well, he's live somewhat. It's a very odd live I'm watching right now.
That's Billy Napier's chandelier?
Dude, look. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, I just pulled it up. Yep.
It's just a chandelier.
They got Kelby Collins in here. He said, Zay Mincy, we're waiting on you.
Oh, Jack Pyburn in here.
Oh, we got some Gators in here.
Oh, yeah.
This is big time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Jack Pyburn.
We got some Raiders in here. Oh, yeah. Big time.
All right, let's see.
That's huge. This is a huge signing right here.
There's a Mincy. Says, yo.
Or yeah, Zay Mincy probably.
Miles Graham. Miles Graham's in there. That's when you know they want them. When everybody's in there.
We got the whole team in there.
And I think he just pinned just a second. So they must know something's up, right? They gotta know.
Billy had to inform the team group chat, like, hey, get on this guy's live.
Yeah. Darrell J. That's oh gosh. He's in here. Connor Bearden. No, I don't know him. Oh, he said 5:45 or so it should be.
Yeah, he should be anytime.
Let's see what this is.
Yeah, this is a big one. This turned Gators fans' days from like a 4 out of 10 into like a 7.5.
I was gonna say 6.5, but yeah,
around that range. Yeah, I mean, there was some guys that we just can't lose that many guys.
Well, but I think it was self-destruction though. I think it was because they waited so long for a D-line coach. I mean, players are not going to wait. They're like, "Who's my position coach?" Like, position coaches recruit them, and it's like, I've never even talked to this man. I don't know him. I don't feel comfortable with it.
Right.
So I can't fault for 18, 17-year-olds, and they're probably listening to their parents like, hey, if they don't know who their guy is, may not be the wisest of choice to go there, So, man, what's taking so long?
Miles Graham said, Zay Mincy, you're next.
Yeah. Bro's grabbing his Gator gear. See, this one. So I figured Amarius Williams was going to be gone today. I figured Adarius Hayes was going to be gone. I knew X was going to be gone. Just the way he was sounding. LJ McCrae was the one I had the biggest question mark on. I had no idea. Because it was like, it seemed like he was a lock, but it seemed like after last night, there was some stuff happening, and Hugh Freeze, man, he had a press conference talking about how he's kept up with a lot of the recruits. He's flipped some because he stayed talking to them the entire time. So I know good and well he's been talking to LJ McCrae, but we're going to find out if it worked.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Auburn people in here now. Buffalo, Colorado in here?
Okay. I didn't even know Colorado was in the discussion.
I don't think so. I think that's... Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. Hugh Freeze bangs his player's girlfriend. Some of these comments crack me up on this stuff though. And then I like reading comments a lot of times, especially on Twitter or whatever. I go for the comments because I love reading it.
There's Kanan Daniels, Kelby Collins in here, Cam Jackson.
Oh man,
you got some Auburn. No Auburn. It's just all Gator players in here.
Yeah. Well, that I'm worried because I don't know most Auburn players, so
yeah,
I'm like,
that's true. I wouldn't.
They could be, but I'm not sure. Walker. Well, I bet you high top.
Here it is.
Oh, here he is. Here we go. I still don't hear no sound. Why is his eyes so red? You see that too?
That's why it took so long.
You do you, buddy. That's fine. Oh, I got some kind of. Here we go.
First, I was like, thank God for getting on my journey. I didn't know if I was signing or not. But I was thinking I was paying. I think I was the right decision on where I want to go in the next year. That being said, I think I'm still where I knew. I was there for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, I know. Oh, okay. So I don't trust these guys sometimes. Some of these young guys, I'm like, are they going to throw the hat? Okay. So he said that. He said that he wasn't going to flip last night, but then we started hearing that he pushed the stuff back, and it was like, oh, God. Like, what happened? So Auburn may have got to him a little bit, but it just made him think a little more.
All right, we got our guy. That's big.
Yes.
That I mean, losing him would have been catastrophic.
There he is. Boom.
Zay Mincy, you're next.
That would be awesome. Okay, see, you close out on a high note, so that's good. I still think Florida could finish up a little higher than where they're at right now. So, I mean, there's still, I don't know how many like high profile commits there's still left on the board that haven't signed yet. Because a lot of guys sign early so they can get on to their team quicker. So, now it's the 3-4-star guys who haven't signed or waiting their turn. Zay Mincy, what is he doing? That somebody said after
the
Under Armour game.
Yep, I think he announced a date. I want to say January 3rd.
Okay,
that was an odd live commitment. That seemed very nonchalant.
Yeah. I was just like, okay. A swinging chandelier the entire time was like, are we watching a horror film or something? What are we doing? So, yep, that definitely closes out. I mean, so Florida finishes 16th in the composite ranking today. Yeah, I mean, not the greatest, but you kept your two best players. Your two best were 100% DJ Lagway and LJ McCrae. They were 100%. You needed them to save some face. I'm going to go C plus for the what it is right now for the class. I think it's a C plus class. I can
agree with that.
I mean, a C is average. But I think the two guys make it that much. I mean, without them too, or even losing McCrae, you might give it a C minus, or maybe a D plus or something. But I just felt like Florida they really didn't flip anybody. Jaden Ball was a decommit. He decommitted like a day or two ago, and then he committed today. He wasn't really a flip, so there's really not much they flipped. The Florida got flipped on though, so not the greatest class, but they're going to have to hit the transfer portal hard. They will have to hit it hard.
The trenches
and a playmaker. I think you need to go after Evan Stewart. I really do. I like Evan Stewart. You go after somebody like that, or maybe you think you can get Jeremiah Smith, who hasn't, still left unsigned. But I know you're wanting Jordan Seaton for the trip. That would be amazing. I mean, he could day one starter. How many times a freshman can start?
Right.
Francis Mauigoa. You remember Florida was trying to go after him. He started for Miami. He was a beast. I mean, freshmen can start. The different ones, though, the different linemen can start. It's a little difficult, for offensive linemen to start right away because, the game, you're dealing with grown men. A lot of times 20, 21-year-old, they're stronger. So, I mean, it's hard for them to battle in the trenches, but some guys are just different.
Yeah,
and Seaton's different. He's like a Maui Goa, so that would be huge. But is it wishful thinking? Probably. But
what does a Evan Stewart or a Jeremiah Smith hopefully do to your expectations on the year?
Oh, well, one, it should open up the offense. So Florida's got a run game. That makes defenses play off a lot of times instead of playing aggressive. You have to worry about, man, when you have a special guy, whenever somebody can just torch you on the back end, especially your secondary, man, you play defense different because you have to game plan for a difference maker. It's kind of like back in the day when Florida had, I mean, of course, they had a lot of players, but Percy Harvin. You game scripted Percy Harvin. You had to script for him. And Evan Stewart is that type of athlete where you script for him. Jeremiah Smith can come in where you like, hey, we have to watch out for this guy. So you're playing your defense. You have to play it different. So with Florida, really this year, who was it? Eugene Wilson, but he wasn't a downfield shot. He was up close. Defenses started playing up. They were playing for the run. They were like, okay, we're going to shut this off. So, defenses kind of knew you were going to do a lot of jet sweeps, a lot of stuff. So, they kind of picked up on that as the year went on. And, with a guy like a Evan Stewart that could take the top off on a defense, makes you play back. And not only that, it opens up more for your slot guys, stuff over the middle, and for your run game because they're not crowding, they're not putting 7, 8 in a box. So, stuff like that happens. Like when you have a difference maker as for a playmaker, man, and for an offensive play caller, it's amazing. It's just like life's so much easier. So
Absolutely.
that's what I look at. It's kind of like Marvin Harrison with Ohio State. Teams script for him. They have to.
You got to give him 15 targets a game.
Yeah, and I mean, who won Florida's offense? I mean, ETN, but it's like, okay, they knew what ETN, they weren't going to play him a whole lot, so he wasn't getting the ball a whole lot. So it's like, who were you scripting for? Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's Florida needs some playmakers to threaten other teams because, man, the SEC, especially their schedule, is tough. It's rough. They're going to have some weapons. They need some firepower. And there's still stuff out there. Transfer portal, there's tons of it. So, and Florida adding some. I know you were talking about Dre Hawkins. I like him, but I want some guys that have experience too. As much as he's youth. So it's like, do they understand route concepts? Can they, if it's an option route, do they know how to read a defense? Because wide receiver have to read it. Where a corner is, or when they're playing safety, you're up high. Do you know if you need to cut in? Do you need to stop on the route? It's just so much that goes into it. So, with a guy like Evan Stewart, he understands. He understands defenses. So, I mean, he's the second best rated player in the transfer portal, right behind Walter Nolan. So, I mean,
absolutely,
for a reason too. So, it's more wishful thinking, I think. But
I think
be awesome.
you can make a serious pitch to Evan Stewart, though. You can take all of Ricky Pearsall's reps. He's gone.
Oh yeah,
and we need that guy, a third down guy, where we can trust your hands. I mean, Ricky Pearsall's hands are probably irreplaceable. I mean, that dude could catch anything. But I mean, that we lost our wide receiver one, so
yeah.
You could make a pitch to Evan Stewart for sure. I think it's going to depend on the pockets. Like someone said earlier, like he didn't get paid much.
Yeah,
A&M apparently. So,
see, Zaire says y'all boys saying playmaker. How about a bona fide play caller that won't be sending Trey Wilson in motion every other play? Hey, what's that mean? You got me. What's that? You got me. I mean, he's right, but I'm kind of going at because there's unless
it's too
Florida,
unpredictable.
Yeah, it is. Maybe I'm thinking Evan Stewart, but it's like who you got calling the shots for him. I understand that, and that might be where. Why would I go to Florida whenever can they get me open? What design plays do they have? They have Eugene Wilson, who is a stud player. Listen, Eugene Wilson was a stud. He was the bright spot on the offense. I mean, one of the bright spots other than ETN. I mean, we see what Wilson can bring. We know how elusive and electric he is. and they had him running jet sweeps and hot routes or wide receiver screens. It was like everything was like short yardage, and he was getting lit up. I kind of felt bad for him at times.
Yeah.
It was like they knew it was coming. Defenses knew, so they started playing up. And it's like, Jesus, guys, like y'all will get this guy killed. I mean, he got hurt. Remember after what Tennessee game or which game was it?
Tennessee game. He had the first drive. He had like 5 catches for 60 yards.
Yeah, they're all just dump passes, though. I mean, they're it's like, all right, you're gonna give him something downfield where he could get separation. But
once again, that was a thing where I didn't understand. And I understand there's different personnel packages and all that, but if you would have just gave the ball to number 1, number 7, and Trey Wilson all year long, I mean, why make it so much harder for yourself?
Yeah, damn.
Those guys make plays.
Miami just got a stud.
Who?
5-star defensive lineman Armando Blount.
Oh, he flipped.
Yep. From the Seminoles.
A&M?
No,
Seminoles. Florida State. Oh, Florida State's in shambles today.
Dude, KJ Bolden. I mean, my God, they just lost 2 5-star plus. KJ Bolden was a 5-star across the board.
And they swore that Jeremiah Smith was theirs.
Miami or Florida State?
Well, I heard it was between Florida State, Miami, and Ohio State. But Florida State, Miami had the best chances if it was a different school.
Wow.
And I mean, the live chat on Jeremiah Smith's commitment, all the Florida State fans seemed disappointed for some reason.
Wow. That's, dude, Florida State. Yeah. Yeah. Holy cow.
They'll sue him. It's no big deal.
They're going to call the governor. They're going to call the governor. They put in it was because they didn't make the CFP or something. The reason why they're not getting them. So, but.
Yeah, they're Nick De La Torre. He just dropped Billy Napier's piece of paper of all of his signees. So he knew about LJ.
He did. He had to. So is he doing the press conference now?
Yeah, he's live on YouTube.
Okay. I'll probably wrap this up so I can go check that out.
For sure.
Oh, well, you know what? Florida kept their 5-star player, and Florida State, even though it went to Miami, Florida State got pushed in a locker. So I like that.
Hey,
I like that.
Not too bad of a day.
No. But hey, man, if I ever go live, I'll do the live stream. If you ever want to come in, dude, anytime, dude. Anytime.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you coming on, dude.
I had a blast, man.
Yeah, man. I like this. All the news coming in. So, I mean, there's still National Signing Day, which I know it doesn't hit as good as this, early signing day, but this was fun, dude. But hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna check. He just started the press conference.
Yeah, he's about 10 minutes in. So,
all right, I'll check that one out. I mean, I appreciate you joining, and I appreciate everyone coming in. We had a day.
Yeah.
It was a day,
to say the least.
It was a day, but it could be worse. We could be like Florida State and like losing everyone. It looks like, especially your top players.
Yeah.
So
in your spot in the playoff.
Oh, you went there too soon. All right, man. Well, hey, have a good night.
You too.
And go Gators.
Always go Gators.
Yes, sir.